Dude, I feel like you have, I mean, I think it's your job as a person to continuously evolve. I think, I mean, I feel that way about myself. I feel like the version of me from 10 years ago, I should be embarrassed of today if I've
Right.
grown as a person. But when I look at what you've done, and I think it gets so, I mean, people that are around it see it, but dude, you have evolved from the funny dude who just makes you laugh to, man, you really touch people's lives with videos like that. Was that a, why, when did that start happening for you? And was it a conscious decision, or
No,
is just you as
I
a
think
person?
it was me as a person involving, and I think when I started talking about PMA was after I lost my brother and I struggled. So I'm like, I got to figure out how to get out of this. I really worked at it, and it became almost an outlet for me to talk about it. So when I first did seminars on trying not to be negative, trying to find the good in everything, it really wasn't as much for the person in the room to hear as it was for me to hear myself say it. It was almost like a healing that, hey, I got to be a better person because I don't like who I was last year. I don't like the guy that seemed mad and negative. So it just kind of happened as accident. And then people just kept coming up and going, hey man, it was just overwhelming. And then the more I talked about it, and then now it's just like, it's been the weirdest change in life, Dave, because you and I both like to laugh. And I love making people laugh. Me making people smile sometimes, that's the biggest high ever. And I don't go out to practice it. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I just like seeing people smile because I know we can all have, no matter who you are, you can have some crappy days. So like
Yeah.
sometimes laughter is good, but some of the things that's happened to Leanne and I, and being able to see it when people come back to you and talk to you about it. And a lot of times, man, it's just therapy for me. It's it. It's just some way I have to express myself because my mind races. And that day I smelt that smell when my brother was living, I just never forgot it. And I knew the year before that I had smelt that smell at that gate. And I knew it was a frosty morning. And that morning when it frosted, I didn't give a damn if I even had my bow with me. I was going to that gate before daylight just to see. So like I'm a little bit, maybe call me weird, like that I think that way. And when I was there, I was like, I'm just going to make the video. And, because I think so many times in life, it helps to know that me and you have something in common. Like maybe we in the struggle bus together. We like to, like, if I just know my buddy's going through a bunch of crap with me, like he got some uncles on meth too. And I'm like, we in the same boat. It's a comforting to know that you have, everybody's life's not perfect. So by sometimes just opening my mouth, I don't know. Sometimes when I talk, I don't even know what's going to come out. I know sometimes what I feel and what I see now is different. And I see a lot of what you say that I want to be a better person. I look when I lay down, I'm like, man, I just really want to try to do good. And I can't, man. Like sometimes I'm telling you, I'm horrible. Like I get at the gas station, I'm like, people just piss me off. Like I just come in and I'm like, I don't want to be that dude. But I can tell all the other men like this, just because you have one of those moments, don't make you a bad dad or a bad son. You're just human. We just got to acknowledge it and say, okay, she got the best of me at the gas pump today. She pissed me off. I ain't gonna let it happen again. I said, as long as you acknowledge it, we winning. So we've been blessed, man. Just story after story. I have so many, and my wife's told me like several times in the last 2 years. She said, "You really need to sit down and record some of this stuff that's happening." Because she said some of it just. She said I sit and just like staring, like I can't believe this just happened. That how people are affected by just a simple PMA or just needing a hug. So I think to me, that's the greatest gift of fishing. So if it wouldn't have been for fishing and it wouldn't have been for the platforms that I played the game on, and that's old school FLW, even when I fished the BPT to bass, if I didn't have that platform, I would not be able to shake a man's hand that was a fireman that said he tried to rescue a baby and he lost the baby in his arms. And he said, I hadn't been able to sleep. So like I start all of a sudden get this reality check that like I'm shaking a man's hand that's a fireman that goes in burning buildings and tried to save a baby and lost him and been dealing with suicidal thoughts that nobody in his family knows it. So I'm like, is fishing really that damn big, David? Are we not stressing over some stuff that don't matter? So when I hear somebody say, man, we paying an entry fee, I want to say, fool, please. You ever shook a man's hand that you know was a man's man and see his eyes water? And he said, I feel like I failed. I'm like, till you see that, you don't realize the position you're in to change or do something positive. And that's what I